Hello and welcome back to Lens of Lore 2. When we last left off, we essentially finished with our little globe quest and were able to speak to a Dracoid priest who basically asked us to complete a ritual and do a consecration burning of his body so that he could rest with his brethren. Hey, another Vel's fruit. Let's grab that. All of which is in service to him, hopefully providing us with a silver leaf so that we can complete our journey up into the mountains. And let's back up and get into the Hewline Temple, where we can hopefully get our curse removed. So a lot of steps involved in this, but, that's all right. Now, there's a couple of different ways that we can get into the ruins from here. Obviously, the main way would be how we got in last time, going down this pit. You also would be able to use the teleporter to go back in, but since we used the teleporter to... we used the teleporter to go back to the woods instead. It's not active yet. However, that's okay because I wanted to show you this other way through. Now, if you look right here on the map, this is where we are. Ultimately, I'm just going to pause here until we transform into the lizard, and then I'll be right back. All right, we are now the lizard, and I'm just going to use one of these lamplight eyes to show that there's a tunnel here, and we are going to run through here. I'm not going to show everything in here. I'm going to do that later after we have some more control over our curse. But you can see us just sort of flying through these tunnels, which can make it easier to get from one side of the jungle to the other once you, kind of have everything down. Is this where I want to go? Let's see. Yes. But it's not really that useful since you kind of require a lucky transformation into the lizard before you're able to use it. Plus, quite frankly, they're hard to find. However, we will come back to this. First, though, let's run through this tunnel that, even with our lamplight eyes, remains dark. And when we come out the other side, we'll go through this brief period of tunnel here and find ourselves in the Dracoid Ruins, which is nice. Here, this is where we are here. This is the second layer, so that's less helpful. But if we look out here, this is where the Mage's Tower is. This is where we first entered. And up here is where the teleporter room is. So what we're going to be doing here is basically exploring everything. So there's actually going to be a lot of starting and stopping today, if I'm being perfectly honest. Partially because it's just so large that I'm not certain I'm going to remember everything. So I'm going to want to be kind of constantly going backwards and forwards and checking my notes, as it were. Oh, good. We're transforming back. That'll be helpful. And like I said, I guess that's the main reason is that I'm going to have to be checking back and forth so often to make sure that we're not missing anything. Let's back up. Oh, I was hoping we would get poisoned, but that's okay. Now, it's a little bit unfortunate that we started out here because there is something that we're going to want to do right at the beginning. So we may even just go directly back there. Normally, that guy's waiting for you right when you bust out of here. But actually, speaking of which, I think I'm going to pause quickly right now and then hopefully be back shortly. So hang on a second. All right, so let's get back to it. Let's heal up first, I suppose. Ooh, there we are. Just do a few heals. All right, so let's start diving into the world down here. Obviously, things are a little weird, kind of starting up here. And I think what we'll do is start by heading back towards... It's weird, getting caught up against the ground there. We're going to start by heading back towards the beginning, frankly, because there is a particular item that I really want to get there. Nope, it's not transform. Oh, bull. Anyway, that's unfortunate. Oh, let's continue as the beast for now, which will stink, because the beast can't move. Am I really trapped in this little triangle? That's absurd. Well, if you ever needed to have some clarifying points about why the beast is so terrible, there you have it. I'm going to pause here and come back when we are human. Alright, let's try this again now that we're moving. Maybe jump out of here. There we go. Alright, so we are going to, in general, head back towards the start, but in reality, there is a number of stops that we're going to be making along the way. I'm going to keep checking my map to make sure I'm in the right spot. Now, probably this first one might be the most interesting. Oh, hello, friend. At some point, I'm going to have to intentionally take a death from one of these guys. You'll see why, but since we're already poisoned, we might as well just dive right into it. Okay. Let's... our poison defense. Keep lighting these guys up. So, this room in particular is a very interesting one. Oops. Let me show you where we are on the map. So we're kind of right in here, and I'm actually going to pause and save. So hang on. And the reason for that is because you really only get one chance at this room, at least as far as I've ever seen. So what we're going to do is try to bring these boxes over here as quickly as possible and stack them up. That's not as fast as I would have liked to have moved. See if this will get up. All right, let's see if that's enough. Because what we need to do is not do that. What is happening? No, don't transform. Alright, that was a failure. Hang on. Let's try that again. Yeah, this is one of my least favorite rooms, because it just never really goes well. But it is cool if you can kind of get some success with it. So we need to build a little tower over here that we can use. I don't know why these keep failing so terribly. Shouldn't be all that hard, really. I need one of these smaller boxes. That's why. Hang on. Alright, round 3. So, let's bring you over as a smaller box that we can climb on. Good. And then let's bring you two over. Not get you caught up on the wall. And if we get... well, sure. What are you doing? Alright, that should be good, I think. Let's see. No, don't float away. Oh, that was rude. You were so close. Hang on. Alright. Did not mean to do that. Let's try this one last time. So, we're going to get this box, and these two over here. Up against the wall. Good. And then we just bring this guy over here. Nope, stop climbing it up the wall. There, that should be fine. And that should be enough to get us up and into here. Good. So what we got to do then is bring this guy over here towards where that kind of gap is you see in the wall there. You do not need to be the lizard here. It might look like it with how small that is, but you don't. So what we're going to do is step up on this box, and then do a crouch jump to get into this little pathway here. We find the Stone of the Cobra. Now, I have heard that this causes us to sink in water 50% slower. I don't know that that's accurate at all. I think what it does is increases our melee and ranged attack by about 50%. You know what, just to be safe, I'm going to pause and save here too. Alright, just in case. And then what I usually like to do is just drop this into the water, because as you can see, it all kind of flows away from us. And we'll just jump on. Or not. Well, this is why we saved there. Hang on. Round 400. Drop it in the water. Alright, and then jump on board. Wow, this is harder than I thought. It also feels like we can get out of there, but we can't. Well, we can just do this. We're going to have to pause. Let's see how many times we have to do this before we have any success. It's going to be the entire video. falling off, man. We will succeed, I promise.
Oh.
I don't know if that's getting in the way. It doesn't seem like it, but we're going to move it anyway. And then just get on board. Oh, that was clearly my fault. That was all on me. It will happen.
Oh.
One of these days. Alright, so we should be good, unless, yeah, something's causing us to fall off. I don't know if it's the ceiling. Let me try ducking, or crouching, rather, while we do it. And actually, maybe I'm going to look down a little bit, too, so we can better see the ground. Maybe those 2 steps will give us some more success. Let's get perfectly lined up with it. Okay, it's in, and there. I'm just going to keep an eye on where it is. Crouch down. And we should be able to ride it all the way over. Alright, now let's get up and out of here. Wonderful. That was way more difficult than we wanted it to be, but we did get a very cool item that is very difficult to get, frankly, and very easy to miss. Now, continuing on, well, I can't really show it from here, so we'll just go back to here. There should be, unless I'm in the wrong room. You know, I might be... I don't think there's anything in this vase, right? No, these guys are empty. Let me see if I'm in the right spot. Oh, no, I was off. In here is an item that I don't care very much about. I don't know if we'll keep. But it's kind of cool. Iron rod. This is basically a little lightning rod for us. It gives you defense. You know, it's a usable item up here. Gives you defense against lightning base attacks. I'm not going to keep it and waste the inventory spot. That's not something that I care enough about to utilize the space for. So we're going to keep working our way around here. Keep killing more of these guys. These monstrous beasts. Is there another one behind me? I feel like there is. No, maybe not. Anyway. Give ourselves some poison defense until we can get something a little easier to manage. Keep lighting these guys up. And just circling this pathway around. Now there is a little room in here that, unless I am remembering incorrectly, is empty. It is wonderful. But we can just kind of crouch jump in and out easily enough. There we go. And then we'll kind of continue working our way around here. Keep checking my notes off to the side. Hopefully don't miss anything. We are running out of mana, though, which is annoying. Might actually be to our benefit to transform, although I think I would rather not. Yeah, so kind of see more common area rooms, I would say that this is in terms of the Dracoid ruins and you know, from the civilization was actually here. Now, you know, I talked a good bit when we kind of first started off about how you know, one of the big things in this game that is both a plus and a minus is areas that are where did you... Oh, they just busted through the wall. I did not know that happened. That's cool. Anyway. Let's take you guys out. Luckily, they're both small ones, so they're not quite as strong. Let's get one of the Vel's fruits. Might have been a waste. A little bit. Anyway. Let's heal up a touch. That was cool, though. I didn't know that I don't think this breaks. No. I didn't know that happened. Or if I did, I didn't remember it. Doesn't go anywhere new, but cool. Yes, so, one of the things that I talked about earlier is how, the game has a lot of cool areas you can explore that sort of speak to the history of the area without actually adding anything gameplay-wise and without actually necessarily having things to find. And this is easily the place where that is the most true. And it can be annoying and frustrating, but I personally think it's a very cool addition. And, maybe it would have been cool if you also filled it in with stuff. Oops. But I mean, there's only so much that you can put in the game, and taking the time still to build things in this way, I think really speaks to the quality of what we're looking at here. So I'm going to keep lighting these guys up, and you can see that we're heading back towards the beginning here. In fact, before I do any more real exploring over here, I'll keep lighting these things as I go by, but otherwise, I want to get back to the beginning. Oh, maybe I shouldn't keep lighting them. I need my electric. I need my magic. Nah, it's alright, I can just refill with a mana foil. I think you can still light these guys too. Aha! Wonderful. And we have some more stone blocks, which make these funny little stalactites. I don't think there is a single drawer or cabinet in the game, even though you can open so many of them, that actually has anything. But still very nice that they took the time to code them to open, I think. So let's continue back out here. There are going to be holes in the floor that you want to watch out for in this area. And then we'll come around here. So now we are getting back to the original entrance. And let's take care of you. Here's something I did not do earlier, which is you can get these Gorgonite nodules by clicking on these guys when they have been killed. I don't usually bother because I don't need them too much, but still nice to know it's there. This is nothing, right? No, it's not. Okay. No. Well, that's actually fine. This does, at least it wasn't a beast, allow us to just sneak through here, and you can see where that last chain is that we hadn't destroyed before. Open this up, and we can get the, if we can reach it.
Oh.
Maybe we can jump and get it.
Greater Bazor Ring.
Greater Bazor Ring. And frankly, I'm just gonna, I think, get rid of this original Bazor Ring. We don't really need it. And then we'll keep you, these are the Gauntlets of the Dead, we'll keep them. We'll keep all of the rest of this for now. We'll use you two to get you out of the way. Alrighty, let's continue on. I wonder if you can do this. Wonderful. Now this gate will be open, and so as a human, we will also be able to get through. Should still be able to collect these here if we want them. Wonderful. We don't really need those for anything. We'll use them just to show off the pharmacopedia, but it's not necessary. So, let me see, where do we think we want to go next? Let's take a look at our map. Well, while we're a lizard, let's go through this lizard tunnel. We don't have to go this way to do what we're going to do here, but if we have the opportunity, we might as well take advantage. Oops. There we are. Am I in the right spot? There we are. Okay, good. Where I was going to jump off a cliff or something. So, you can take this lizard tunnel in here to a house. Huzzah. And it's honestly difficult to do much in here when you're a lizard. It's easier once we transform back to a human. Oh, these actually might not light. I remember that, and I found it was weird. But there are other ways to see better. Maybe we'll just utilize another one of these. Wonderful. That's better. So there's some errant crack on the ground. There's some stuff up higher on these tables that we'll get to. A little gap here. Oops. That we can almost escape through. There's an exit that you can generate. Oops. For yourself if you took some time to do something before you come in here, which I did not do. Hey, let's be human. As you can see, there's a big gap here, which is problematic for us. Makes it very difficult for us to get out, but not impossible. There's at least 2 ways. First of all, we have Stroke Dagger here, which I'm not really going to use, but basically what it does is, I think each one just has 1 use. I can't even use it without an enemy, I guess. No. Wonderful. But it basically just, I think it fires off like 1 lightning shot. It's not really necessary, so I'm going to get rid of it and not take up the inventory space. Let's go back to Spark to try and give us the ability. Did you light that time? Oh, now you're lighting. Oh, it was you who lit. And yet, visibility's still terrible, to be fair. However, there is a staircase in back here that we can go up. Like that globe. And head up a little bit higher. There's some rooms up here. There's a summon scroll that we really don't need. Or prism, rather. We really don't need, but we'll, I suppose use later. As soon as we're able to. And then heading up here, we have some potential exits.
Not quite.
Windows that don't necessarily go anywhere. Alright, and then there's also a few other items up here. There are, yes, I think there's 2 Net of Exiles, if I remember correctly. Might just be 1. I guess just 1. Oh, there it is. And what do we want to get rid of? We obviously have to keep you, and I'm probably never going to use you again. They're kind of cool. I probably should keep them, but I'm not going to. I don't even know why I'm keeping these. Oh, actually, now that we have the Greater Bazor Ring, we can probably get rid of the Vel's Fruit as well. I don't know why the thing keeps moving so much. So,
not quite. Too far.
You can get out by... stacking some things up on a table down where you first came in, but also out here. Should be able to close this. There we go. If I remember correctly, it was on this side. I'll have to double check before I do anything, but the gap mostly blocks us, but right there is a way for us to get through here. I probably should save it before I do this, but I'm not going to. So let's go. Alright, so we survived that. And then we should be able to jump across here. And we have escaped from the cool little mansion house over there. Now, let me see where this water flow is. I believe it's on this side, but I could be mistaken. In fact, why don't I just double check? Hang on. I was wrong. Where I want to go is up past all of this. So now we're going to start continuing forward to explore more. Where are we at time-wise? Alright, so my initial thought that maybe we would explore this whole thing in one video is definitely not going to. What? Why did... No, this is the worst. Hate when you turn the beast. Absolutely useless. And I'm pretty sure means that we won't be able to get where we want to go, because I don't think he'll fit through this window. I mean, there's no way. So we may be... Yeah, there's no way he's fitting through this. Now, again, it would be good if... Okay, in this instance, the beast could, shove this bookshelf out of the way that normally you can't, or something of that nature. But of course he can't. Can't do anything. So I'm just going to pause. All right, we have to transform back. So now we can actually continue, although I've completely lost track of where I am. And I'm heading the wrong direction. So yes, there is a little... You can probably tell on the map, and you can see just there's a little lizard tunnel there, if you happen to have transformed. It is not needed, though, because you can just come this way, and come through exactly how we went before. Going in the other direction, admittedly, but still. Now, around the corner here, let me see exactly where it is. Yep, let's keep going. We'll light some more torches. We can take that guy out in a second. So right here, if we look, crouch down a little bit. There's a nice tunnel here. No, stop transforming. There's a tunnel here with these spires, which we can break, and then they'll start filling with water. And we can back our way out. And it will fill this little chasm here. And at some point we'll show it, but over on the other side there should be a door that gets basically lifted up in front of that manor house we were at. That allows you to access and exit that area much easier. I can show you on the map where the water has filled in right there. Alright, now, why don't we go this way around? Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I have Valkyrie. Oh, that's fine. Oh, there we go. I don't even know where that guy is attacking me from. I'd like to kill it, but... There you are. I don't approve of these guys just assaulting me from every which way. I don't believe the Net of Exile will work on them. I've never actually tried, but I just assume that it doesn't work there. So let's continue on. We'll take care of you. No, we got these spark scrolls. Let's get rid of them. Certainly don't need those. They're not doing us any good. And then... Yeah, I thought so. You're a big one. Let's utilize you for fun. Whee! Goodbye. I had to stop my timer. That's not good. And let's see where we're at. All right, let's keep proceeding left, I think, will be the best way to do this. Yes, let's go left. And fairly soon we will call a halt. But let's find a little bit better of a breaking point, I think. You'll see nothing really special in this room here. Alrighty. Yeah, maybe what we'll do is basically more of the common areas, I guess I'll call it, here in this video. And then in the next one, we'll do some of the, I don't know, more elite areas. I think what I'm going to do is allow this guy... I'm going to pause for a second to save. I'll explain why in a second. Alright, and then I'm going to allow this guy to kill us. And the reason for that is because something very specific happens when we die for the very first time to one of these guys in this area. I don't know why I'm not getting poisoned. But still, there we go. It's giving me credit for the Greater Bezor Ring or not. Oh yeah, let him attack me from behind. That'll help us die faster. Keep going. No, don't transform. There we go. So, the first time that you are killed, you're basically kind of captured, I guess you could say, and you get transported into an arena of sorts. Oops. There we go. Interrupted my own spell. Oh, I don't know. What's happening? Oh, I'm trying to cast the wrong spell. There we go. Goodness gracious. So yes, you're transported into kind of an arena here. You can wait here and rest for a pretty good while, but eventually lava will start pooling up through here. Now the reason that I saved is... Oh, there you go. Thought it would be a little bit longer. The reason that I saved is sometimes you can get kind of trapped in this area, but what happens is all of these SAR are up here watching us, and we're in this arena with this Executioner. And what you need to do is take the Executioner out, which is not particularly difficult. At least I don't think it is. There we go. Oh, hey, look at that. Gained another magic level. That's fun. Almost dead. Alright, so once the Executioner's dead, it'll start pooling with water. And what you need to do is take this door that's kind of hidden here. And a SAR priest will start attacking you, which is rude. Usually it doesn't attack you until you get a little further out. Let's see if we can bring the door a little closer this way. Alright, so let's get on board, and then what it should do is basically float us over there. But sometimes it doesn't work quite properly, and you get stuck, which is not very good. There we go. Seems to be working correctly today. Chase that guy down when we get the chance. If you kind of naturally get to this area without coming via death and capture, none of this will unfold. You still can do it later, but it doesn't happen right away. Now, up close, his attacks are significantly less effective. I'll show you where we are here. So we're very close to where we were with the mage tower. This now is filled with water. It wouldn't have been previously. And while you're up here, you actually can... Oops, let's light this guy. Come to this door.
Not quite.
But it won't open anymore, since we were on the back side of there. Hang on one second. Alright, so we have just a little bit more work, I think, that we will do here before we end things. So let's get out of here in this direction. And kill you, because nobody likes you. You're rude. Did I ever put our stuff back on? I did. Good. Okay. Grab our nodule. And there shouldn't... Oh, I was wrong. Oh, there we go. So, what we're going to do, I think, is go this way. And we're going to uncover one more specific room/area. That I think is where we will end things for today. And then when we come back, we'll explore some of the other parts of this area before finishing up with the majority of it. We'll still do a little bit more in the future. Light that guy up. Should be... Oh, let's take care of you. Can't be leaving enemies in your wake. Might come up from behind. Granted, these guys can't move, but still. This guy can. But luckily, he can't poison us. Do I have any items that I want to get rid of? Oops, get out of here. Close that. Yes, we still have you. Go away. Now. Alright, good. So. Through here. We have a rock that the beast should be able to move, but can't. We may explore this a little bit. This is kind of... Yeah, we'll save that. Hang on. Because we want to go into this room just above us. Here. Where there should be at least one. Yeah, there you go. Kind of big boy. You know, maybe we'll use... Let's do this. Nope, not you. Stop it. Yes. Or, you know what? I've never bothered to use the level 5 prism. Let's do that just for fun. It's really more of a area group thing, but we'll try it out. It sends this little blast across. It's not really all that good, frankly, compared to most of the level 5 spells, but it's still fun. We are immune to the poison with our Greater Bezoar Ring. So, what we have here is, I don't know exactly what the purpose of this is, but obviously you can put these speaking stones in here, and if you click up here, you can watch them.
So, you're upset that my toys are beating yours? It is the Council's decision. Then you have come to execute me. Well, go ahead. But be careful, friend. You are their instrument now, but they won't appreciate your sacrifice. No ancient has ever killed another, you know. My blood will stain your hands forever. And for what? I will return regardless. And then where will that leave you? A pariah. A killer. And all for what? Silence! It must be done! Do not grieve for me. I will be back.
You can take that out and put the other speaking stones in its place. There's no real need to, though. So that was basically kind of the inciting incident of this entire series of events, more or less. Belial is the Ancient who decided that he wanted to start interfering in mortal affairs to make them more fun, so he gave all his ancient magic to the Dracoid people, and ultimately the Dracoid, whose real name among the ancients is Anu, decided to, finally start defending them. And even though he was, kind of making up for the wrong that Belial was doing amongst, ancient law, still he violated that law by also interfering. So the punishment that the other ancients made was that Belial had to die, and Anu was the one who had to do it, despite the fact that no one had ever killed an ancient before. And just like Belial said, Anu then became kind of a pariah, to the point where when the other ancients decided to just flee the world after all this happened, Anu, the Dracoid, stayed behind to wait for Belial's resurrection, which we are now trying to prevent, more or less. So with that done, I think we'll end things here. This has gone on long enough. We still have a good bit of exploring to do, but much of it is done, and some of the more interesting parts maybe are in front of us. So I will end things. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and until next time, see you.